From AccuWeather.com, this is AccuWeather Daily, a brief host-read article. It's weather news in a nutshell. An area under AccuWeather meteorologists' radar for weeks recently gave birth to Tropical Storm Francine, which is forecast to strike Louisiana as a Category 2 hurricane. Francine could be strengthening at landfall rather than weakening, which could increase impacts. As of Tuesday, Francine was close to hurricane intensity with maximum sustained winds of 65 miles per hour and higher gusts. The tropical storm was moving northeast at 9 miles per hour, and it is likely to pick up speed. Francine was located less than 400 miles to the southwest of Morgan City, Louisiana. A hurricane warning was in effect from Sabine Pass to Grand Isle, Louisiana, and a tropical storm warning was in effect for the South Texas coast, the Upper Texas coast, and the Louisiana coast from Grand Isle through Lake Pontchartrain. A tropical storm warning was also in effect for the southern Mississippi coast. Francine has been struggling with dry air as of Monday night and Tuesday morning, but as the tropical storm pushes away from the western Gulf Coast and enters warm open waters offshore for several hours, that should change, and an increase in strength is likely. Should Francine strengthen beyond a Category 2 on the Saffir-Simpson scale, the storm surge would be greater, and impacts from wind and rain would be significantly higher. Similarly, a farther east track that brings greater impacts to New Orleans may result in a higher real impact level. Houston's stormwater infrastructure should handle this sort of rain well, but minor travel problems due to downpours and runoff are possible, especially to the east of the city. However, some torrential downpours will occur along parts of the immediate Texas coast, with the likelihood of flooding rain near and north of where the tropical cyclone makes landfall along the central Gulf Coast. Surf will remain dangerous for swimmers throughout the Texas coast, and seas and surf will build throughout the Gulf Coast region as Francine intensifies and moves northward. The most dangerous aspect of a land-filling hurricane is the rapid rise of coastal waters that penetrate inland, known as storm surge. Francine will pack a punch in terms of strong winds, with an AccuWeather local storm max gust of 130 miles per hour along the south-central Louisiana coast. A broad zone of wind gusts between 60 and 80 miles per hour will occur over much of southern and central Louisiana and part of western Mississippi. Winds of this intensity, and even lower at sustained speeds, are plenty strong enough to knock down trees and trigger regional to widespread power outages, including in New Orleans, Baton Rouge, and Lafayette. Where tornadoes occur, damage can be more severe and pose a greater risk to lives and property. The highest risk of inland tornadoes will be north and east of the storm center because some dry air has become entrained into Francine's circulation. It may increase the number and intensity of severe thunderstorms, which could again boost the number of tornadoes beginning Wednesday and possibly continuing into Friday. The most far-reaching impacts from Francine will be heavy rainfall, which can trigger everything from small stream and low-lying area flooding to significant rises on some of the south-central U.S. region's secondary rivers and bayous. The rain and reasonable water level rise on the Mississippi River are much needed from a tug and barge transport impact. The waterway is invaluable for the low-cost transport of grains and other commodities. Since the amount of rain will tail off quickly over the Ohio River Valley and no rain from Francine will reach the upper Mississippi Valley, not enough of a water level rise or one that lasts very long is likely to occur on the mid-Mississippi stem. The Ohio River contributes more than the main stem of the Mississippi at the Ohio-Mississippi River confluence. Slow movement of Francine while inland will boost rainfall amounts over the south-central region. How strong Francine becomes will determine the scope of impact on the petroleum industry over the Gulf of Mexico and refinery operations along the Gulf Coast. However, the strengthening tropical cyclone will have some negative effects on operations, which could be reflected as higher prices at the pump for a time. That's all for now. There are more articles and regional forecasts at AccuWeather.com, and for your local forecast at your fingertips, download the AccuWeather app. Enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll be back tomorrow with more weather news.